Do you know that near the remote and forgotten village of Albugnano, deep in Piedmont, near Asti, there is one of the most important abbey in the northwest Italy, built to drive away cursed skeletons? Hi, I'm Lawrence, and I'm here to tell you many adventures around the world from my human point of view. Before I start, if you want to help me tell you even better stories, snap me a like and subscribe. By the way, let's dive into the journey. September was almost over, a splash of yellow was starting to appear from the bravest trees, and I was wandering around Piedmont. I was between Asti and Turin, lost on hills unknown to me. The day before, a friend of mine, met by chance at the pub, recommended a visit to a beautiful church. What a great opportunity to visit a little known Piedmont area and tell you everything I can discover. Today's focus was the Vezzolano Abbey, built on the hills in the year 733, and of course, as I already told you, there is a spooky story about it. The legend tells that one day in October, none other than Mr. Carlemagne was hunting in this place when suddenly 3 horrible skeletons rose from the ground. The emperor was so frightened that ran into the woods to hide. What were 3 skeletons doing there? Was this a cursed land? He couldn't hallow it. He was the emperor of the entire world, he had to fix it, so he released his falcon to fly over the area and find a good spot to plan. I'm sorry, I was distracted for a moment by the flight of the falcon. It's a very strong animal, isn't it? However, it would seem that our brave emperor with his strong hawk discovered a small house in the woods, and there he met an ancient and wise hermit with a long white beard. He was a very religious man, so he helped Carlemagne to pray the Virgin Mary and drive away the demonic skeletons. But it wasn't enough. The emperor of the world couldn't live with the idea that a small part of his kingdom was cursed, so he started to build this church. The abbey includes a chapel with a short bell tower on its side, a cloister and a capitular hall, featuring both Gothic and Romanesque elements. The Romanesque bell tower, however, was remade in the upper part. As you can imagine, was built in honor of the Virgin Mary, and it worked! I looked outside and didn't find any kind of skeleton. I also took a tour inside. The church is great with some element of Gothic style, but my favorite part was the cloister. It's not that big, but it has very medieval vibes. I was walking for a moment and I imagined going back in time, walking with the monarch and chatting with him about herbs, plants and growing things. He was a good guy. One cool thing I discovered is that sometimes events with typical Piedmontese dances and literature are organized. I didn't expect to find so much in this place, so while I was wandering around the cloister, the ancient hermit came from the past, forgiving great awareness, and then I understood that if you don't want to have a skeleton infestation, you have to grow a nice plant. And here we are, guys, in the end car. Oh, thank you so much for reaching the end car, guys, and thank you so much for watching. If you want, leave me a comment so I can thank you personally. So, How's going? Did you enjoy the video? I don't know. This is a great spot to pass a half day if you're wandering around Piedmont and you don't know what to do. So, see you in the next video, and as I always said, cheers!